Hey everybody, Jennifer Hine here, a Los Angeles area-based real estate agent with Rodeo Realty. And today we're going to talk more about California Proposition 19, otherwise known as ACA 11, which is on this November's ballot. Proposition 19 is mainly about being able to transfer your lower tax bill, which was achieved through Proposition 13, either to a replacement property or to children or grandchildren, often through an inheritance. Just a quick recap, in part 1, which I will link up above, we compared how Proposition 19 is with what's already on the books for seniors age 55 and up. It's Prop 60 and Prop 90, and residents who are severely and permanently disabled, Proposition 110, allows them to be able to transfer their lower tax bill from Proposition 13 onto a replacement property. It also, what Proposition 19 does is allows victims of wildfires and other natural disasters to be able to transfer their lower Proposition 13 tax bill onto a replacement property where we actually do not have any protection for them in place at this time. In this video, which is part 2, we're going to talk about how Proposition 19 compares to what is already on the books, Proposition 58 and 193, which allows when property is transferred to a child or grandchild, often in inheritance situations, the Proposition 13 lower tax bill is also transferred at that time. So I've just rattled off a whole bunch of propositions, including Proposition 13. And if you're not familiar with that particular proposition, you may be wondering, well, what's the big deal? It's actually ends up being thousands of dollars per year. Let me go ahead and give you an example. A homeowner whose home's current market value is $1 million might be paying a taxes based on an assessed value of $200,000 because they have lived in their home for 50 years. Figuring 1% for taxes, that's a difference between $10,000 and $2,000 per year. Basically, it's an $8,000 per year difference, or $667 per month. That's a big difference, right? So now you can understand what is at stake. If you like this video so far, give it a like, and for future content, hit the subscribe button. While most properties' tax bills go up when the property is transferred to another party, about 3 decades ago, voters and legislature passed Proposition 58 and 193, allowing a parent or grandparent to transfer their lower Proposition 13 tax bill onto their children or grandchildren. So with Proposition 58 and 193, the transferor can transfer their primary home with no limit on the value of the home to the transferee, and the transferee does not need to live in the home. They could rent it out, for example. Also, the transferor can transfer other property like rental units and commercial buildings up to a taxable value of under $1 million for an individual and up to $2 million for an eligible married couple. Now keep in mind, taxable value is assessed value, not actual current market value. So if it's worth $10 million but being assessed under $1 million, they can get the full Proposition 13 transfer over to this particular property. Also, they must apply within 3 years of the transfer. Now with Proposition 19, the transferor needs to transfer their primary home, and the person receiving the home, the transferee, does need to make it their primary residence. They can't rent it out. Also, the limit needs to be $1 million. So it needs to be assessed at under $1 million to receive the full benefit. If it is currently being assessed at over $1 million, they get the benefit up to $1 million, and then the amount on top of that will be adjusted according to the current tax rate. Also, They cannot transfer the reduced property tax on other properties, and they must apply within 1 year of the transfer. You may hear the term the Lebowski loophole in regards to this. The term was coined from an article in the LA Times that came out in August of 2018. One of the examples used in the article was Jeff Bridges and his siblings. You know, Jeff Bridges, the star of The Big Lebowski, which is where that term came from. Him and his siblings inherited a Malibu beach house from their parents, who had originally purchased it in 1975. They inherited it in 2009, and from that time moving forward, they were paying a property tax rate based on the 1975 Proposition 13 numbers. So from 2009 forward, and this goes until 2017, they actually saved about $300,000 in property taxes. And mind you, at this time, they've been renting the beach house out for $15,995 per month. So that's where this kind of Lebowski loophole came in. The idea behind Proposition 19 is to still allow those situations where the family home is transferred to a child or a grandchild to be able to maintain that lower property tax bill. But for those situations where they're not going to live in the home and they're going to rent it out or something like that, they will have to pay the current market values property tax rate and not get that discounted rate. If Proposition 19 passes, more homes will be available for people to own. It will also allow seniors 55 and up and residents who are severely and permanently disabled who have been limited by Prop 60 and 90 to have more options available to them so they can get a replacement home that better suits their current needs. It will also generate a lot of tax revenue by closing the investment income property loophole. The extra revenue that is generated from Proposition 19 will go not only to schools, local city and county governments, but it will also go to the California Fire Response Fund, which will allocate resources to the prevention and suppression of wildfires throughout California, which we really need. And that wraps it up, everybody. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out anytime. I am more than happy to help. And I will see you on the next one. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.